So she ended up coming up in there while she was doing another client, and they got to scrapping for real, like throwing bows in the salon. What's good, you guys? It's your girl, it's your fave, Jstdej, and I am back with another video. Let's talk. Okay, so there is a video on my channel titled My Nail Tech Horror Story, and it's actually getting a lot of love, and I super duper appreciate it. So I actually did a poll on my channel, and y'all wanted me to do another story time. This time y'all wanted me to do my hair salon horror story, so that's what I'm going to get into today. But I do want to give a disclaimer because y'all was really trying to come for me in my comments and I wasn't here for it. Okay, this is not to bash nobody. This especially isn't to bash no black business because I do have one of my own. I'm just giving y'all, one, what y'all want, and two, giving y'all my experience regardless of honestly who it is or what the situation is. And y'all like these stories, so I'm going to continue to give them until y'all decide that y'all don't want to hear them, I guess. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. So I am a business owner. I do sell bundles, I sell lashes, edge control, things like that. Basically, you know, my own hair company. And these are actually my lashes. I'll leave the link in my description box below. If y'all like these, y'all can definitely check them out on my site. Now, I feel like when you sell bundles or you sell lashes or, you know, shades or clothes, like basically you're a walking brand, so you pretty much have to wear your product all the time. I feel like that includes, you know, doing like photo shoots and, you know, taking a lot of pictures and pretty much doing things of that sort. So with that being said, this is around the time that my business had just came out and it was flourishing. I mean, boom, like skyrocketed for real. So I was taking it upon myself to do business ventures and kind of trying to you know, take pictures and you know, kind of just post a lot, you know, and keeping my hair done and just like looking good, you know, dressing cute, you know, all of that stuff, because I feel like that, you know, like I said, is a big part of having your own business with the type of business that I have. So there is someone on Facebook, and in our city, this person is kind of like considered to be, I want to say like famous, sort of, kind of like on Facebook. I'm sure a lot of people have that type of person in their city, whether it be Facebook or Instagram or whatever, right? So I would see her post some work and I'm like, this is amazing. Like, it's like her work was so good, and on top of that, it was just like she gets a lot of love, you know. So I'm like, this would be really good for like business, you know, for her and for myself. So I'm like, okay, I'm about to reach out to her and I'm about to see if I can schedule an appointment. So I ended up inboxing her and she didn't respond the first time that I inboxed her or whatever. So I want to say I waited like a week or so and I ended up trying to inbox her again. She still didn't respond, and in my head I'm kind of just thinking like, you know, she do have like a lot of followers on here, and maybe it's just that my messages are getting, you know, flooded out and she's not, you know, seeing them or whatever. Because sometimes on Facebook, like, people will be like, oh, so and so's trying to connect with you. You feel me? You won't always see that over all the inboxes that you get. You feel me? So I'm like, okay, whatever. So I'm stalking her page. I mean, stalking for real, you know, just waiting for her to like upload. So I'm like, you know, maybe she'll put her link, because I'm going through her page. I'm like, maybe I can find the link. But I wasn't able to find it. So luckily one day she posted and I was able to see, I was able to get the link. She had posted it with a picture that she had uploaded. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I go on the site and I ended up booking a frontal sew-in. I'm usually like a closure person or leave out. Honestly, I do leave out like more than anything. I honestly do that more than anything. I'm just now kind of starting to get into wigs and like protective styles and stuff like that. But y'all, I love my leave out, but it just damages my hair so bad I can't take it. Anyways, so I'm like, okay, cool, I'm doing the frontal sew-in. Remind you, this isn't my first frontal. This isn't the first time I've had one. This isn't the first time I've had one laid. This isn't the first time whatsoever. So anyways, I go ahead and I book. So I've made it a thing where whenever I book with somebody and I get the email that has like the attachment, I'm like, oh, you have your appointment this day and so and so and so. I make it a part of my routine to screenshot that and send it to the person, because they don't always see it, I guess, supposedly. They don't always see it, and I just need to make sure that you know that I'm coming, basically. So I've always made it a thing where I do that. So I'm like, I got her number off of the attachment or whatever that was sent to my email after booking, and I texted her like, hey, you know, just so you know, like, I booked with you, like, you know, is there anything I have to do, whatever. So her policy is kind of like, you have to bring your hair, your bundles, whatever it is that you have, your wig, 3 days prior, because she has to prep it. So customization is a part of her price. So she like plucks your frontal, and she bleaches it, and she dyes it if need be, and basically all stuff like that. So I'm like, okay. And I just so happened to want my bundles dyed black. So usually I dye my bundles myself, but I wasn't comfortable yet with dyeing my frontal because I wasn't trying to fuck up my lace, and I needed my hair done. Like, I had a whole photo shoot, I needed my hair done. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I want to say the same day or the next day, she was like, okay, cool, like, here's my address, like, bring it here. So I got all my stuff together, you know, got all my bundles together, my frontal and stuff, and I'm like, okay, cool. I texted her before I left, hopped in a whip, hit the gas, and I'm out, right? So I'm like, okay, I'm on my way. So I finally pull up. Mind you, the house is probably like 35 minutes away or something, but the whole time I let her know I was coming before I came. So I finally get there, I call her, and she's not answering. I text her, and she's not answering. So I'm like, okay, maybe if I just wait, you know, like a few minutes, maybe she's like not by her phone, maybe she went to the bathroom, maybe she went to go get something to eat, whatever. So 10 minutes probably went by, 20 minutes probably went by, 30 minutes probably went by, and she's still not answering, and she still haven't hit me back or nothing. So I'm like, let me check on Facebook. Whole time she was just posting statuses. I'm like, girl, I know you see me calling you, you know, whatever. I'm like, I know she see me calling her. So I texted her again, but she still wasn't responding. So I'm like, okay, you know what, at this point I'm like, I'm just gonna leave, because I had been out there for a while now, and I'm like, you know what, like, she playing with me, I'm just about to leave. So I probably had got through, like, realistically, like 3 red lights, and she's calling me back. She's like, hey, she's like, hey, I didn't see it or whatever. I didn't see you had called this, that, and the third. Whole time in my head, I'm like, girl, I told you I was coming, and you was just on Facebook. So I'm like, okay. But of course, I turned around like, girl, please, I'm desperate to get my hair. And I'm like, you know, it's fine, whatever. So she finally sends her sister outside, and she comes and she grabs my stuff. Boom, cool. So like I told y'all, it's a 3-day wait because she has to prep the hair and everything. So this is the day before my appointment. So she did text me, and she's like, hey, like, can we move your appointment back? Whole time, like I told y'all, I have like a whole like photo shoot and some more shit like scheduled. So I'm like set it back for what? I'm like, you know, what's the problem? So she's like, oh, well, I have like a bad batch of dye, so I'm gonna have to go back and get some more, but I have clients and stuff today, so I'll, you know, whatever, all these excuses, I ain't gonna be able to whatever. So whole time in my head, I'm kind of like, I use Revlon dye, $3 dye from Walmart. I've been using it for years and years and years. Never had a bad batch of dye. I'm sure that's a thing, I'm not doubting that, but I was just kind of like, okay. At that point, I was willing to bring it to her. Like, girl, I'll do it today. Show me. Like, I'll come over, teach me a lesson. This a 101. Like, whatever. Like, come on. Like, I don't want no more inconveniences, you know? So anyways, so she ends up rescheduling or whatever, and my appointment was, I want to say, a day or two after that, or that was like 2 days after that, because this was a Tuesday, and so I had to reschedule for a Friday, if that makes sense. So I ended up going over there like on a Friday. So yeah, so I ended up going over there on a Friday. So I made my appointment for 9 in the morning. I made my appointment for 9 in the morning because I'm the type of person where I like to be in and out. Like, I don't want to be sitting all day. Like, you feel me? Like, I go to my appointments dressed. You feel me? Like, I be having my clothes laid out the day before. Like, it's the first day of school. Like, feel me? I be getting up. I be getting dressed. I be, you know, putting my little lashes on, my lip gloss, whatever. Because when I'm done getting my hair done, I'm in the streets for real. So, I ended up texting her or whatever. I'm like, hey, I'm on my way. The morning of my appointment. Again, she's not responding, so I'm just like, not today, you feel me? Like, not today. And my shoot is like the next day, it's like that weekend. So I'm like please, like, not today, you feel me? So she ends up so I end up going over there. Anyway. She's not answering. Once I get there, she's still not answering. And I'm just like, okay. At this point, I'm just like, bruh, this girl on her phone. Like, girl, is your phone boost? Is it cricket? What is it? Like, come on, man. I'm like, what's going on? What's the reason she don't be answering my calls? Like, girl. So she's not answering. So I go back to the car. I'm sitting there or whatever. At this point, I'm about to leave again. And maybe her spidey senses was tingling because every time I'm about to dip, she be calling. Like, maybe that was her, like, oh, money. Like, I don't know. So she's like, basically just started giving me like all these excuses basically about how like she was running behind and stuff and she had to move my appointment back. So I'm like, okay. I'm like, okay, like what time do you want me to come back? Like I said, I have this shoot, bro. I can't get in with nobody else. I'm just like, okay, like what time? On top of that, I already paid my deposit and her site claims it's not refundable. So I'm like, I'm SOL at this point, you know. So she's like, okay, can you just come back at 2? I'm like, 2? Like, damn, you running that far behind? Like, what the fuck? I'm like, okay. I'm like, that shit is crazy. Like, girl, I could have been sleeping. I'm over here dressed for real. I'm looking cute for real. Feel me? My head nappy, but I'm looking cute for real. So I'm just like, okay. So I was with my boyfriend, so we was just like chilling, you know, riding around the city and stuff. I ended up just like going home for a little bit after the fact. So I finally get back to her around 2. Like, girl, actually before 2. I pulled up at 1:45. Okay, I was there at 1:59. Okay, walking up to the door. So this time she actually did answer once it was time for her to like come outside and get me and like all that stuff. So when she greeted me, she actually was like really nice. She was just like asking how I was doing, and she was like extremely apologetic about how everything was like going and all that stuff. At this point, I'm like, okay, cool, like let's fine, girl, like do my hair, like slay me. So at this point, I'm in the house, I'm cooling, like I'm sitting in the chair, and I'm mad excited, bro, because I'm like, that's what's up. Like, I'm about to get slayed. I just knew she was about to slay my shit. I just knew she was. So she starts to doing my hair, whatever, and we talked about my business. And then I started asking her, I'm like, so, you know, how do you like doing hair? Like, you know, telling her like, I wish I could do my own hair, whatever, like all that. And then she just like started going ham a little bit, and she's like, well, you know, she was like, honestly, I'm not passionate about it. Like, I don't plan on doing this for the rest of my life. Like, I really don't want to do it anymore. And in my head, I'm like, well, you can't stop today. Like, you can't stop today. Like, stop tomorrow. Stop after me. Like, you can't stop today. So then she starts telling me about how basically she just was always getting into it with her clients. She literally showed me on her phone, because I guess it's like happened on live or like some shit. Hopefully I'm not saying too much, I don't know. But she like started showing me her live and shit, and she's like, yeah, this girl and her sister like came up in the shop I was in, and like they wanted to fight. Like, they was like real life fighting in this salon. And it was basically because the girl didn't like how she did her hair, and she was just like unpleased with it, was just talking about like how much money she spent, and she don't feel like it was like worth her money. And like, I guess the girl that was doing my hair, she didn't care. She was like, well, shit, you know, whatever. So she ended up coming up in there while she was doing another client, and they got to scrapping for real, like throwing bows in the salon. So I guess that's how she ended up getting kicked out of there, and that's why she started doing hair like in her crib. And a lot of stylists do their hair at their crib that I know now, really where I live. So that wasn't a big deal. That wasn't an issue at all. So in my head, I'm like, word? In my head, I'm like, for real? So now in my head, I'm just like, please, Lord, please. Lord, sweet baby Jesus, please, because I heard this story way too many times. Y'all, this was in my nail tech story. I'm like, dang, like, y'all always want to fight. Y'all always want to fight. So I'm just like, oh, okay, you know, still we talking, and you know, we was talking about like a series of stuff, you feel me? She was talking about her BD. She was talking about, you know, how she didn't want to do hair, how she want to move, feel me? Just like all type of stuff. So I feel like she was kind of getting distracted. Like, you know, some people, like, they talk with their hands. Like, they be, you know, they talk with their hands, or they be hyping. They always doing, like, emotions, like, you know what I mean? Like, moving around and stuff, you know, or stopping, you know, type shit. So she was doing, like, a lot of that. So, I ain't gonna lie, I was listening, feel me? I was peeping. I was a peeping Tom for real. I'm like, wait, word? Spill that tea, you feel me? Whole time, I'm like, now my ass is getting numb. I'm looking like, what time is it? like I told y'all, I got there at 2 o'clock. I literally didn't leave this house until about 8 o'clock. Realistically, like 8 o'clock. Why? I don't know. So after the fact that I had the experience that I had, which I'll end up finishing the story, I'm looking, and on the booking site, like the attachment that it sends you, it actually says it takes 3.5 hours. Why? I don't know, but it takes 3.5 hours, and that's like hella extended for me. I don't know about y'all. Leave a comment below and let me know how long it takes your stylist to do a sew-in, a wig install, a frontal install, whatever. I'm super curious to know. So, because I'm curious, like if you prep everything the night before and like days before, I just don't see why it would take so long. So anyways, so this is, I'm going to insert a picture. This is what my hair looks like after she finished. So that's how my hair looks after she was finished. So it looks nice, right? It looks nice. It's cute. Like, okay, bundles. Y'all see that? Y'all see them bundles, Shannon, flossing for real, right? But my issue was the time and the fact that it was so much lace left on that frontal. It was so much left on that frontal. And I don't want to hear, oh, why didn't you say nothing? Why didn't you let her know in advance? Why didn't you say something before you left? Then you gonna come here and complain. I told her flat out. I told her straight up. When she asked me if I liked it, I told her straight up. I was like, yeah, you know, it's nice, but it's like, it's a lot of lace. And she's like, well, you know, if you tie your hair up, she's like, if you tie your hair up, you know, it'll look great tomorrow. It'll look fine. This and the third. She's like, it'll look fine. And I'm like, okay, you know, that's cool, because she didn't do that. Like, I know when I've had them installed previously, you know, they'll wrap it up after they, you know, glue it down so that it's really melted, and then they'll start styling your hair. She kind of just like put it on. It wasn't really like tied up or nothing, and she's kind of just like curled it. So I feel like maybe in the midst of her doing that, it kind of started getting a little bit more loose. So I'm like, okay, like, you know, whatever, that's fine. So I paid a total of $225. Whole time, y'all, whole time my shit is fucked. Whole time my hair is fucked. Whole time my frontal lasted for 2 days. My frontal lasted for 2 days, and I actually ended up canceling my photo shoot because it honestly had just looked a complete awful like mess. The pictures look good, but they're like hella edited. Like, look at my part. I'm gonna do a close-up of my part. Like, my part, the color just wasn't matching. It was just off, and it was just like a lot of lace. It was a lot of lace. And I had asked her to cut it, but she's like, well, because of your hairline, like, I wouldn't be able to, like, you know, do that, this, and a third. And I'm like, well, why didn't you say something to me, like, previously? Like, why didn't you say something when you was braiding my hair? Like, why, like, you know, communication always be my thing. So, anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna read y'all the messages, because, like I said, I had this photo shoot that I ended up having to cancel because I literally could not get back in with her. And she was just like, she was not going. So, I had texted her, I literally had to text her that night, and I told her, I was like, you know, it kind of seems like my lace is like already lifting. Would you be able to like fix it? You know, I have this shoot tomorrow, this and the third. She's not responding. So at that point, like, I wasn't even going to exhaust my efforts, because this whole time that I've you know, went to her and been trying to reach out to her, she haven't been answering. So I'm just like, I just don't see how. I just was like, you know what, at that point I kind of just felt like defeated, you know. And so I text her, and this is me texting her, y'all, probably over a whole week. This is probably me texting her like through like an entire week. So I was like, hey, I'm really sorry, you know, to keep bothering and everything, but you know, we need to talk about this. I really need my hair fixed. Are you available today? And she said, hey, I'm busy now. I'm still waiting. As soon as I'm free, I will text you, I promise. She didn't even text me back. I can't show y'all because, yeah, the name is on here. But she didn't end up texting me back. So I texted her again. I was like, hey, do I need to book through your site? Because honestly, I can just do that. If so, I can do it like right now. She didn't text me back. So I texted her again, and I was like, honestly, like, at this point, like, my frontal is like completely lifted, it's completely damaged. I'm actually walking around with a hat on after paying you $225. If you can you please fix my frontal today? And that's literally all I needed. All I needed her was to glue it back down. Like, that's all that I needed. Because at that point, it honestly wasn't that bad, but I was walking around with, not was that bad, it was that bad. I was walking around with a hat on. So she's still not responding. So she's like, you know what, just send me a picture. So I sent her a picture and she's like, oh, okay, I see you need your entire front to reinstall. I have a new one open today, bring $90. So now I'm kind of like, girl. So I'm like, $90, but I paid you $225 already. I didn't have a choice. I've been trying to get with you for days before I felt like I should have been charged. Basically, this didn't make sense because I was typing too fast. So she wrote me back and she said the $225 was the cost of the frontal install. I'll charge $80 for frontal touch-up only. It's just the whole process all over again. I have to redo your cap. Frontals are just very high maintenance and I couldn't get to you when you needed me because I was very busy. My everyday life is a set schedule, so I can't just fit anyone in whenever. Okay, so I understood part of that, but it's like I have been asking for days, you know? It's like I have been asking for days and days and days, and I just feel like if you could have fixed it the day after or whatever, I could even have rescheduled the photo shoot, but you're not saying anything days and days after the fact. So I'm just like, you know, and I told you the same day and you still wasn't like trying to hear. You just basically like told me to tie my shit up. Like, but why you didn't tie my shit up, you know? So I'm just like, you know what, okay. So I was like, honestly, I'm really upset about it. I even offered to reschedule online and you wouldn't respond. I couldn't keep walking around with my hair looking crazy after the first day. I stayed at your house literally all day and all my tracks are cut into pieces. I honestly feel like we could have compromised, but I am going to get it done today, so it's fine, but I appreciate you trying to get me in today. So then she wrote me back. They always want to write me lengthy shit. They always want to write me real lengthy shit after the fact that I said something. And I don't even be being rude. Like, I don't be feeling like I be even being rude, you know? And she wrote me back and she said, that's usually what everyone, including you, do. Book me online. That's what you originally did. You said you needed it to be glued back down, so it's not a big deal. You didn't have to book if you didn't want to, but the fact that you didn't was questionable. And I'm just like, girl, I asked you. And then you tell me that you don't have time and to book on your website. But your website was open whole time. So I'm like, okay, because I did look after the fact. I'm like, your website was booked whole time. And I'm like, but that's fine. And I'm like, your link, it's never even visible. So I'm sure people inbox you or text you all the time, especially people that you know. But I can understand why she would want you to go through the site. But it's like, you wasn't responding. On top of that, you canceled my appointment. You was never answering the phone when I did come in the first place. You didn't want to do it after the first day that I said something about it. So to me, I felt like it was just like kind of out of the question. And then anyway, she said, to be honest, I thought you'd be more patient. How much more patient could I be? How much more patient could I be? Like, at that point, I really wanted to pop off. Like some press-ons. I wanted to pop off. I'm like, what? Like, I was hella patient. I was hella nice. I wasn't rude. Like, I still came after the fact that I could have just canceled my photo shoot altogether and rescheduled with somebody else. You feel me? So I'm just like, which low-key I should have did, but I really wanted to go to her. So I'm just like, okay. So low-key, like, that kind of blew me a little bit. And then she said, I never knew your hair was looking crazy. You stayed all day to get your hair done because it was a long process that day. Like, why was it a long process specifically that day? Like, what do you mean? But I'm like, okay, like a long day for who? Like, what you mean? Like, I ain't understanding that after rescheduling me twice. Like, okay. And then she said, yes, you stayed all day to get your hair done because it was a long process that day. I also apologize for those long hours. If I would have known you felt some type of way about that, I would have cleared the situation right there. Your tracks are cut into pieces because I don't like folding it. It makes lumps. I make sure to let everyone know frontals are very high maintenance hairstyle. Which honestly she didn't, and she didn't have to tell me because I knew that already. So we never even had that discussion, to be honest. And then like on top of that, like I don't feel like I was being impatient whatsoever with her, like at all. And then as far as like cutting my tracks, I feel like I was more pissed about that than anything. I'm the type of person, I don't be buying new bundles all the time. Like, that's not something I do. I will boil my bundles, I will recolor them joints, I will refurbish them joints, like I will deep condition them. I wear my bundles plenty times. Like, I'll continuously wear my bundles. I don't buy new hair until I absolutely have to. So I literally couldn't use my bundles, and they were new bundles, y'all, new fresh bundles. Like, she had to cut the wrap off them joints. She cut the wrap off them joints and then cut them into pieces, Reese's pieces. Like, girl, are you serious? I was so mad. I'm gonna insert a picture right here of how my hair looked literally like 2 days after the fact, 2-3 days after the fact that I got it done. I don't know the time frame, I can't remember. But this was a couple days after I had freshly got my hair done. If y'all look closely, y'all be able to see how my tracks were basically into pieces. That's crazy. But you live and you learn. And I learned I'm not doing this shit no more. Like, can I believe that? That is nuts. Yeah. So it was bad. It was really bad. I ended up having to go a couple days after to one of my family friends, and she ended up just doing my little partial, which usually I get. That's like my go-to. So that's what I ended up getting or whatever. And that was cool. So I'm like, okay, bet 'em up, like bet 'em up. So basically this whole time now I'm out of like $350. I was out of money. I didn't have my shoes. So I was just like, I was a little bit irritated. I ain't even gonna lie, y'all. I was a little bit irritated. Honestly, I was more willing to go through the process than to have my damn bundles cut the fuck up. Like, that's the part that really blew me. Like, I was so upset. I'm not even gonna front. I'm not even gonna flex with y'all. That's what really upset me, to be honest. But anyways, y'all, that is basically the end of my story time about, you know, my hair horror story. And it was definitely one that I will remember for a very long time. So that is the end of this video. Let me know in the comments below if y'all stylists cut y'all wefts or not. I'm really curious to know how many stylists still cut their wefts. I'm curious because I know maybe for a quick weave, but for a sew-in, never. So comment down below and let me know. I will be doing a haul video. I'll have that up on Friday. If y'all like another story time, make sure y'all let me know in the comments below. Give me some suggestions and I'll be happy to get that up for y'all. Until next time, y'all, peace.